Hello, and welcome back to another movie review where we are, of course, now diving into the Disney Channel original movie Halloweentown, which is a movie that is as old as I am now, basically. It came out in 1998 and for a lot of, millennials and early Gen Z is a lot of their favorite movies, because it's a movie that they grew up watching that was on every Halloween. And it was, it's a movie that I only remember the ending of. I'm pretty sure I have watched it in full prior to this, but I always preferred Twitches, which is a movie I reviewed at the beginning of this month. And I'll be reviewing the second Twitches movie later on this month. Um, but yeah, after this rewatch, or full watch through, whichever way it's going to work, because, I tend to have bad memories when it comes to certain things, and unfortunately, Halloween Town just happens to be one of them. But I'm glad that I, did rewatch it. It's a okay movie. I there's a lot good about it. The young actors um in it are absolutely amazing, and not only are they amazing, but the kind of bigger star essentially is Debbie Reynolds. Yes, Carrie Fisher's mother um is in not only the first of the Halloween Town movies, she's in Halloween Town 2, Kepler's Revenge, and Halloween Town High, I believe, was the last one to come out of the Halloween Town series all the way back in 2004. Those two movies I don't think I've seen because I have zero memories for them. Compared to the memories I have for Twitches, one and two, and the first Halloween Town. So, what is Halloween Town about? Well, the quick Cliff Notes version essentially is, um, it's this family that on Halloween don't celebrate it whatsoever. There's three of them. There's the eldest, Marnie. She's 13. Um, and Sophie is the youngest, and I've already forgotten the middle child's name, and that's probably made a lot of middle children cringe at that. That always feeling forgotten. From what I've heard, I'm not a middle child, so I don't know. Um, but yeah. And then of course, their grandmother, who is, as I said, it's Debbie Reynolds, comes to visit, and she's trying to do what she's always done, and on these visits is, mention the existence of Halloween Town, because in this movie's universe, exists the mortal realm, which is where we all live, and then adjacent to it is Halloween Town, which is where all these monsters, myths, and legends live. And apparently, the idea of Halloween originated from them. And at one point, humans and all these magical creatures did live together, but there was wars, murder, all of that stuff, which is, not fully stated, but heavily implied that that's essentially what happened, which is why the beings from that now live in Halloween Town split off from the mortal world, and they only really visit once a year on Halloween, um, which kind of leans into the old Halloween superstition of it being just the Halloween night is when all the spirits from the evil world come to visit, and it's only for Halloween from the start of Halloween to midnight, November 1st, which is a nice bit of continuity. Essentially, Marnie finds out overhears that she is a witch, part of the Cromwell family of witches, and her and her brother sneak off onto the bus going back to Halloween Town, and then as well apparently the Sophie, the little sister, also done that without them even noticing, which so I'm surprised that they didn't, because I'm assuming all three got on at the back of the school bus like Marnie and her brother did, So they would have noticed Sophie. So that's kind of like a little critique that I have. But it's all about this magic. There's this evil person. Turns out it's the mayor. Go figure. With a lot of these Halloween centric um, movies, it's very easy to spot the villain. Now, again, I know these are kids' movies, um, but even as a kid, I was able to spot them instantly. So yeah, um, turns out that he wants to essentially rage war against the mortals again, um, and to do that, he's essentially uh, turning the people that in Halloweentown feral and so on and so forth, and they basically have to get Merlin's staff or whatever it was called to in order to prevent that from happening. And once the mother finds out that they're at Halloweentown, she hops on the bus to Halloweentown because there's also a bit of a time difference, 2 hours in the mortal realm could be 2 days in Halloweentown, or even 2 weeks if they're on holiday. That is what a exact quote. In the end, it's Marnie, the one who is the one who finally defeats him. Defeats the well, actually, it's the whole family that does it because we knew that Sophie was starting to have magical powers because in the beginning stage of the movie where she says she wants a cookie, we see a cookie floating towards her before her grandmother came, and then it turns out that the middle child actually does indeed have power, so he is a warlock. Um, and they defeat Kepler, who is the mayor and the villain. And yeah, that's essentially Halloweentown. It's a one thing I will say that I was very fascinated by is the makeup department for this movie for a lot of these creatures. Now, obviously, it's not full on the full body makeup. We do see just the face done, which is completely understandable because you'd be spending hours in a chair just doing on the face, not let alone the whole body. Um, so it's all practical effects. Everything in this movie is well, there is some CG obviously, but uh, in large in part the designs of the creatures and all that is large in part practical effects. Even the skeleton cab driver is, I believe, to be practical effect. Um, I could be wrong though. I definitely could be wrong. And I even noticed a nod to Gremlins. Yes, there is someone that looks exactly like a Gremlin, uh, in this movie. Just the way the makeup is designed. It was the ears that, to be honest, it was just the ears that gave it away. Having watched Gremlins last December, um, and knowing now than I did as a kid, that's how I was easily able to recognize that it was a gremlin. Overall, Halloween Town is I definitely liked my return to it. Is it as good as everyone says it is that grew up watching it? No, I still think Twitches is better than Halloween Town. I really do. Even after my rewatch of Twitches early on this month, because I'm recording this September 10th, so I've taken like a week off of recording. And I still think Twitches is definitely the far superior movie to Halloween Town. And that's going to wrap up this review. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you grew up watching Halloween Town, and if you've rewatched it recently, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next upload, which I'll tell you now in a second, because this is actually the third time that I've redone the list of what's coming out. So, my next review on the 7th is going to be for Predators. Yes, I'm delving back once again into the Predator franchise. So, I love Predator 1, didn't like Predator 2. Let's see what my thoughts on Predators is on the 7th.